Boom. And we are back with another episode of Socratic Gamers. Here again doing a movie review, so expect major spoilers for this bad boy. As always, we're going to start off with a review. Score, because everyone likes to skip to the very end for our scores. So we thought we'd just get it out of the way. We'll do a review of the movie, what we thought, and then we're going to do another score at the end to see if anything changed, if we swayed each other. So, here again with BJ and Vishal. So what'd you think? Bright, we're reviewing Bright.
I enjoyed it. I don't think it was like groundbreaking in some way. I didn't feel like I was.
Cool. Yeah.
You know, I just felt like it's
groundbreaking.
Just, you know what I mean? Like it's a good movie, interesting to add like all these elves and dwarves, but it's like what they're talking about.
Wait, what's your score though?
Okay, my score.
Yeah.
3.5.
Oh,
out of 5.
Out of 5, 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cold. All right. Well, I gave it a 5 out of 5.
Well, what sounds better, 3.5 out of 5 or 7 out of 10? It's the same thing.
That's true, actually. Yes, you're right. Mathematically, it is the same thing, but that's a perspective issue, right? Marketing. So if you do 3 out of 5, you're like, it's kind of weak. 3.5 is kind of weak. But if you do like 7, it's like, 7 not bad. 7's not bad.
Exactly.
But okay, so given that, let's see what did you like about it?
What I like
so
about it?
You were saying about your it's a nice little take.
It had like the talk of the like societal structures and stuff, but
yeah, for sure.
I think I've seen that in other movies. It's just now we're adding not dwarves, what do you call orcs and elves and fairies and dragons.
Agreed. So speaking of that, I found it was like a more mature version of Zootopia. Have you seen Zootopia?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it was all about like inherent racism and like how we combat that, and like there was a lot of elements within the movie that I felt like most animations they get to, you know what I mean? Like a lot of animations will like tackle these things because it's like, oh, it's a kid's movie, nobody's gonna take it seriously. But if you do like an adult movie, then it's like we can attack these themes without going too far off the rails. It's sort of like a Fight Club-esque take on society without having to like put off people, because you know what I mean, you still have like the shootouts and like the elven stuff, so like you kind of get like the dullness of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like Star Wars. You know, there's like a shallow point in order to get a deeper point out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But strictly on a movie level, like what were your gripes? All right, wait. Let me quickly pause. Was the movie about like Lord of the Rings? Because my sister and I were watching, and we like turned to each other. And we're like, well, I turned to her. I was like, is this like 10? Because they were like, oh, in the past the orcs chose the dark, and I was like, is this like Lord of the Rings right now? Like, is this like what happens in the future? That would be kind of cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be interesting. That was the thing that was my gripe, was not enough information to the past. Like, who are these? Like, how did they get here?
Yeah, true.
Like, sort of things were not explained.
Right. So a lot of movies,
Fully.
like,
Yeah.
sometimes they'll like diverge into two categories. It'll either like you have to satiate both, I guess. You have to address both. You have to have a good story as well as a good message. I feel like maybe though the story wasn't that great in this movie, although I would totally watch it again, because it was like a feel-good movie. The message was there.
Yeah,
you know
no. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's just I don't think it was anything groundbreaking for me.
For sure. No. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right.
But like, what did you? I found that society-wise, I really liked how they showed like the upper and lower class. I love the gang stuff. That was really cool because it was like it was very realistic. I've never seen that like in real life, so I can't really say it's realistic. But it seemed very like to the point of what I hear about of like Compton and like all these places, and then like the orcs are the ones doing it. So that was kind of cool. But then you saw like the Spanish gang, and then
they're all still there because where Will Smith was living was still kind of like a
ghetto-ish area.
Yeah, right? In that terminology. But I guess everyone's still living in our version of society. Like
for sure. Yeah.
But now we're just adding more orcs. Orcs are even lesser than us, or something like that. And then
true.
Elves are like the rich.
Yeah. Because of Legolas. You know. So okay, let's just go through the movie then. It started off with, what did you think about the house scene with the whole fairy? Like,
Oh, visually, it looked amazing.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Visually, it looked really good.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, this is a really good movie.
Yeah.
You know. So what didn't you like about it? It's like visually, it's just the story.
I think it's the story.
Right.
It's just the story.
Yeah, true. The plot, like, it didn't take you on a giant ride. It was just like, you have to get the wand back. There's corruption. You have to get the wand back, and then you got the wand back.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's pretty basic.
But like, I wasn't sure if the wand is like affecting someone's mind into being.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because that's what I felt happened
It's
with,
kind of like
with
the ring
three
for
cops.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, exactly. And I think someone mentioned that too.
Human greed, though. I don't think it was like that because, like, Will Smith.
No, because when they showed the
really,
wand, it was like this. The music that was playing was meant to like them falling.
Yeah, but I felt like that was human nature itself.
No. But what I'm saying is, but I'm saying is that it felt like that's what they were showing. But when I saw the other cop that helped them at the who got shot there,
the Spanish one.
Yeah. He didn't seem to be like
affected by it.
Yeah,
because I didn't think there was like any hypnotic power.
No, but that's what I thought because that's what it felt like. Everyone was getting that.
Right. In the beginning, you mean?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
yeah, I wasn't sure because even Will Smith said that too, right?
Yeah.
Don't show him because he'll want it.
Right. Of course, yeah. But it's like the human nature, the greed.
So maybe, yeah.
You know? One thing I don't like about movies. I don't like movies where it's like you're on a whole chase and then you realize that it was back where you started in the beginning. I think Finding Nemo was like that or something like that. No, Finding Nemo wasn't like that. But like, you know, like they where they started is where they ended off. It was like, damn it, if you just stayed there the whole time, you know what I mean? We would have totally missed out. Like they had to like.
Well, they had to go back to
heal
save her.
Yeah, to save her. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh man, like. We went in a full circle. I don't like full circle movies unless it's like it starts off. Full circle movies are cool when you start off at a place and then you go through the story and then you end up back at that place because it's like it's showing you the recap. That was cool. But like I don't like it when you're already at the location and it's like, man, you could have just done this thing and then, you know.
That's true because the.
So why we
Magic Task Force was going to meet you there anyways.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, man, you know, just like, but I guess that's like a drawback to its story.
Yeah, another grime was the elves, those rebel elves. Mm-hmm. Their fight scenes were awesome, and they're like, oh, they're tough to beat, but then.
Oh yeah, for sure. At the very end,
they were very easy to take down with just Will Smith and the.
All right, let's continue the story then. So he gets shot. On the job, he wakes up. He has to kill a fairy that's kind of like a bee, I guess. Like it's like a little nuisance. I thought that was kind of funny.
But then he's like, fairy lives don't matter.
That was really funny. And then
okay.
So what else? And then I felt really bad for the orc. Did you when he was being bullied at the
I think he's meant to be like an innocent person that so becomes nice. Jaded or something.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling that. Like he was like an idealist, you know.
Idealist, yeah.
And then you go on the thing. They respond to a call, and then they find a dead person with like a wand, and then they call it in. And then the first people to want the wand are the police force. But it's interesting because like if you just treated your civil servants well, would they be would they want to revolt? You know what I mean? Like the police officers, they wanted the wand because they want all their debt and all their like hardships to go away. Mm-hmm. But like Will Smith, like he had to like choose between like, okay, your debt or or like doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You know, do you feel like societally it would have, like if we're all happier, we'd have a harder time making the tough decisions?
Maybe, yeah.
Right, you know what I mean? Like, if you paid the cop well, he would have done his job properly and they would have brought that in.
Yeah.
But the reason why they were all, like, kind of greedy because bad stuff was happening, so they decided, you know, let's take the easy way out for this one. And then after that, the shootout happened. I thought that was really cool. I thought Will Smith was going to shoot him, but then I was like, is he really going to shoot him? Like, I didn't know how it was going to play out. And then when he's like, he turned around.
Well, when you find out the story of what what basically happened after when Will Smith got, because that's what he wanted to find out. Did he let his own people go because
right? So in the very beginning, Will Smith gets shot by an orc, and then he's wondering, did the orc, his partner, let the orc that shot him get away?
Yeah.
Right. Spoiler alert: turns out that it wasn't the same orc. So the one that he let get away was just another random orc.
Random kid
who turned out to be a gang leader's son who saved them
Yeah,
later on, which was kind of cool. That was another good message. It's like karma.
But I could call that though. Did you call that?
You knew that was gonna happen?
Yeah.
No,
I was
I
like
didn't.
looking at this kid. I can like that reaction of him was like, I think this kid is the one that saved him.
Really? Oh, I
Or
thought
that
it
he
was,
saved.
I
Sorry.
thought it was gonna be like a revolting kid where it's like no.
No, because I think it was gonna come back to him and help the orc officer.
Right, yeah.
Like I thought that my guess was right in that sense. Like I predicted that.
Right, I understand.
I was just wondering if you did.
No, I totally didn't. I didn't catch that one. I thought he was gonna be like one of those people in like the Hitler camps where they're like, "This is wrong." Kind of thing. He was like seeing it as like, "Oh, this is kind of wrong."
Well, yeah. I guess they were giving that tone off
up until like they twisted it, where But okay, so because I don't want to get jumped to that part yet. What did you think of the gangs when they showed up? So I thought that was really cool. Once the police shooting happened, like Will Smith killing his own police officers, the gang came out of nowhere and they're like, "Oh, that's a lot of blood. Are they okay?" That was hilarious. And then you're starting to freak out. You're like, "Uh-oh, like what's gonna happen to Will Smith?"
Yeah.
Because like that's a lot of gangs. And then he says that SWAT's coming, and then they get in the car and then they escape, being chased down, and then all of a sudden they find themselves in a strip club where the elven army shows up, who's like actually after the wand. They show up and they slaughter everyone. So this is so this is your part where you're like, okay, because later on, like Will Smith and his partner easily kill the elves, but in this one scene, it's like they're just slaughtering them like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they're like invincible, and you're like, wait, how did Will Smith do this? Like, what kind of crazy martial arts training has this guy had prior to?
Maybe they weren't good in small spaces.
Maybe they're because they do like a lot of spin kicks and stuff, so they couldn't get that off. But that was really cool. I did like how the orcs were the elves were very like agile and stuff. The fight scenes were actually pretty impressive. I thought so.
Like they had also they didn't have much background of also the enemy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Bad guy. Like there was a little bit of information with that guy that they were interrogating.
Right.
The M Magic Task Force. Or
Yeah.
MTF.
Yeah. They were like alluding to a past, but they never really like addressed the past.
Yeah, and who she was, and like none of that was.
For sure.
Really
but maybe that's what number 2 will be, because you said.
Yeah,
that
just recently they now, but it's based on. I guess it's a success, so that's why Netflix.
But they pumped a lot of marketing into this. Like prior to watching it, like if you pump a lot of marketing into something, it can go one of two ways. Either it's gonna be an amazing movie, and that's why you're pumping the marketing, or it's gonna be a really crappy movie, and you're trying to like sell pre-sale tickets to go watch it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, it is one of their bigger budget movies that they've made.
But still,
so they do want it to be a success.
Like Batman vs Superman. Oh no, that was a good movie. Justice League. Right, that was a terrible movie.
Yeah, there's other problems with that one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, totally. So, all right, back to Bright. So if you're wondering, Brights are people who can touch the wand. Is he a Bright? Okay, so here's a question.
Yeah.
Oops.
He is a Bright.
He is a Bright, right?
Yeah, he said that. Like was he a human that they interrogating? I guess he was a human, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he said that there's like 1 in a million chance, something like that, that a human can be a Bright.
Okay, because when he grabbed it, I was like, is he a Bright, or is that other Bright using magic to?
No, because that's what the other guy said.
Oh, okay.
1 in a million.
So he is a Bright. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those movies where like now that you know what happened, you kind of want to watch it again just to see like what you missed and like what they were alluding to the whole time. You know what I mean? Like he had a sweet tattoo on his back when he was getting out of bed.
Oh, see, yeah.
Right.
So maybe they'll explain that.
Yeah, exactly.
Backstory of who these people are.
Yeah, for sure. So then after the slaughter scene, they escape. They go to a gas station. They call their partner. their other friend to come help them out. That friend, the Mexican dude, he's like, "Oh, we gotta cuff you because it's gonna look bad." And then they call the MCU. What was it?
Magic Task Force.
Magic Task Force. What's MCU? Marvel. Universe?
Marvel Comics Universe.
Yeah, I guess yeah. So they call the FBI, the Magic Task Force,
Yeah.
and then they go to meet them. But then the elves, the evil elves, they hear about it, and then they intercept them.
Yeah, they're brilliant. They know how to handle technology. They know how to fight well. Like they're the
exactly.
elites of the elites.
Crazy, like that's kind of interesting to see too, because like the elite of the elite, the elves, they diverge into two groups. It's either you're power hungry, in terms of with it, but actually it's kind of interesting. You're either power hungry within the system because the elves are rich and they're just gaming the system, or you're power hungry outside of the system. But either way, elves are power hungry. Which is what we can tell from it, except for the main girl who like helps them because she realizes that calling the Dark Lord back. Oh, so that was the big plot. Like they want to bring the Dark Lord back. That the elves that are chasing them. Yeah. But so this elf is good, decides to help them. Then what happens? Oh, and then so they escape in the gang, and this is the cool part. They get brought to the gang leader, the orc gang leader. And then the twist is the orc that got away from the police guy in the beginning of the movie, he was the son of the gang leader. So what I was wondering about this one was like, did the orc police officer know it was him the whole time because he could smell him? Remember, he's like, "Oh, we all have a scent." Yeah. He knew it was him the whole time, right? Remember, he's like, "That's the guy that let go." Yeah. So why don't you just say something? You know what I mean? What, like he? Well, see, that's the thing. That's he's so like, noble. Yeah. So yes, or like it's when it's right to say it, he'll say it for the story. I guess, but it was like, damn, you were like super noble. I would have been like, bro, I let you go, dog. Like, you helped me out in this situation right now. You know what I mean? Like, or I know you, something like that, you know? But like, the fact he didn't say anything, it was like, but I guess it was like orc mentality, right? Because they're like, the orcs never snitch or whatever, and like, that's how you get blooded. Right. You know? Oh, so, interesting side note, he shaved down his own fangs. I didn't realize that. I was wondering about that. Yeah, like how did you catch that he was the one who shaved his own fangs? In that same place, when the orc boss got him. Oh, okay. Because I saw like he like opened up his mouth and he saw like it was shaved down. Oh, okay. I thought they were like they never grew in or something. No. Oh, okay. They were there. Because remember in the beginning, like the orc in the elven area, he made some gesture to him about his teeth. Yes. And I was like, where are they? Yeah. Yeah, and I was like, oh, did you lose a like? But this is a really weird story about like somebody trying to fit in so hard. You know what I mean? He feels he has no place in society. Like the orc police officer, he's got no place in society, so he's like, or no place in both sides, right? In both sides, so he's just trying to like he's like without my badge, I'm nothing. That's why he puts up with a lot. That's that's a belief system. That's like it's amazing to see how far a belief system can carry you. You know. I mean, he grew up wanting to be a cop. But by being a cop, you're also secluding yourself away from your own people. Exactly, yeah, and from the cops who view you not like their own. It's almost like, I don't want to like, this is not to be racist or anything, but it kind of reminded me of like black people in like basketball teams or something, where it's like they were obviously good at the game, but like if you watch that Coach Carter, but they kind of alluded to that in their movie too, right? It's like, how did this like? When, do orcs have hops? Yeah. And like, there's no way this guy could have jumped that high or something. Yeah. Are they in basketball? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's already like. That's true. It's true. I don't know who they're showing who's being marginalized in this movie. Was it the blacks or like the Hispanics? Like, who were they trying to show the suffering for? Who do you think? I thought it was like the blacks at first, but then I was like, it could be the Hispanics. Like, no. Or just like, racism all around. Just I think all around, yeah. Oh, okay. But they're showing like some pivotal parts. You know what I mean? Like, or they're like kind of like mix of like gangsters / light bikers. They had that kind of feel. Some of them had that feel. But like, what ethnicity though? You know what I mean? Well, was being. I think they were trying to hit both and like both thing. They're adding, like a mix of those two. Right.
I think.
You know what's interesting to think about? How many people actually view this movie and see the deeper meaning behind it? You know, it's like, oh, this is like a movie about like contemporary racism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or are they just like, oh, screw orcs, they're terrible. You know what I mean? It's like there's like different levels to it. It's sort of like the cartoons, you know, the Disney cartoons where they talk a lot about like real life lessons, but they present it in a way that's like approachable for children.
Right.
You know, it was just a observation. So then he gets killed.
Yeah.
I was surprised he got sniped. He didn't get sniped, but he got shot by a sniper rifle. And I was like, dang, that's gotta hurt. And then the elf, she realizes he's like good, and then she brings him back from the dead. And then all the orcs are like, oh, it is the prophecy. So they decide not to attack him.
Yeah.
Which I thought that was really cool as well. It's like not cool, but again, it's back to belief system. It's like if something fits a specific thing, we're not going to.
Yeah, all of a sudden from an enemy becomes their
God almost.
God, yeah.
You know, yeah. Again, belief systems are crazy. It's like I thought that was interesting about the movie. And then they go back because she starts to get really sick. So the only place to heal her is to put her back in the pond.
Yeah. At the same building that they were at.
So it's like, oh, we gotta check all the way back. But then while there, the evil one is there, like the main elf leader. And then they fight. They get slaughtered. Like it was an easy battle. Not easy. It was
not
like,
easy, but
it was like relatively easy. Like there was no point where I was like, oh, you're gonna die here.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So that was an interesting one. It's like that's continuity error. It's like how good is Will Smith and his partner? Maybe they're amazing. Who knows? But they killed the whole SWAT team.
Yeah, they did.
Right? Like, those elves were so good that they killed a gang. Like, it's one thing to kill a gang because, like, okay, they had no formal training. But you killed a full SWAT team, bro. A SWAT team that was trying to, like, infiltrate you. You killed them all.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So that was a bit of a jump. And then police get called?
Then...
Oh, Will Smith
Will Smith
reveals
picks,
that he's bright by picking up the wand.
Yeah.
And then she says, like, the incantation's this, and he says it, and he, like, slaughters her. That was kind of cool. It was, like, very last minute. And then they wake up.
Like, we didn't even see who the Dark
up.
Lord is, or who the...
Yeah, maybe that's part of part 2, you know what I mean? There's no backstory. But they were putting, like, heavy marketing... All right,
I think they put too much.
We'll get into that after, because I want to actually...
Okay.
That is pretty interesting. So then after they wake up, they're in the hospital. I thought that was a hilarious scene where he's like, don't say anything. And then he starts spilling his beans. He's such a good cop, a good person. He's just like telling him everything. And then the FBI elf. So this was another one. It's like, what do people believe and how can you skew that belief system to what you want? So like they didn't get killed. That same orc people, they showed up at the very end and they bled. They cut themselves in order to show that like he's a good orc. You know, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it's his, what did they say? His blooding ritual?
Yeah, something like that. And then he felt really good about himself. But so it's funny how, like, the belief system, right? They were ready to kill him. Then because he came back from the dead, they decided to make him, like, an honorary orc or whatever. They bled for him and stuff. And then at the very end, Will Smith, like, the FBI's like, okay, what happened? And then he tells them, like, the most generic story that has nothing to do with the Dark Lord or a magic wand. It's all just about, like, an accident that happened.
Yeah.
And then he's like, good. And then they get awards for what happened.
Right.
And then Will Smith's pissed because he's like, oh, I don't like seeing him up there. Right? Like, the people he killed are up there with the people that are good. Yeah. Right? And it's like, but again, you skew the belief system to, like, operate society how you need to operate it because it's all based off of lies, you know, beliefs. Actually, well, quick side note, a really funny belief system is like in Tai, I think it's Tai Chi. Like I know this guy who believes heavily in like woo-woo martial arts.
Yeah.
So it's like, so basically it's like a Tai Chi master that says that they can control your energy by spinning your hand. They're like the energy around you and you start spinning out of control and then you go flying. Like some magic stuff.
Yeah.
Like they wave their hands and then I know like a lot of people believe that. And it's like that's just collective belief systems right there. You know what I mean? Like you literally convince that person into flinging themselves because you know you're affecting beliefs. But again, just like the police officer at the very end of the movie, it's like you skew the belief system of an entire society so that it can continue operating the way it needs to operate.
Yeah.
Which kind of alludes to the idea of like, can you have a perfect society? Can you have a good society? Can we wake up from our delusion? It's like, no. We actually need that structure, you know?
Yeah, at least we think we need that structure.
Well, I think so. Okay, so most people operate off of heuristics. Do you know what that is? Mental heuristics.
No.
They're it basically means like stereotyping.
Mm-hmm.
We rely on stereotypes, shortcuts, mental shortcuts. We were like like some obvious ones are like black, good at basketball, Mexican, probably eats Mexican food. You know what I mean? Like Filipino, amazingly good at everything, you know, stuff like that. So people rely on those because if you were to actually think about everything on a day-to-day basis, like everything you needed to know about society, you would just like go crazy. Like how could you wait in line? You know, you'd have to know everything to its nth degree. So we rely on mental shortcuts all the time.
Yeah.
So, all right, so then society operates off of mental shortcuts. So it's like, that's why I'm saying, like, we probably need the delusion, like they were depicting at the end. Because what if they, so imagine alternate ending, they're like, oh, it was actually about, they told the truth, it was actually about a magic wand, it was actually about this, blah, blah, blah. How many people would suddenly be like, wait, there's a magic wand? And they would search for the magic wand.
Well, maybe, yeah, that's why they
had to keep the lie.
Yeah.
So it's like, because they knew that people would inherently, nobody would think about it. They'd think about their own greed, mental heuristics. Right? They'd be like, oh, I need that because my life is suffering right now. Versus being like, oh, this could actually be really bad if we went after it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Maybe that's what they mean when they say like people are asleep all the time, right? It's like being asleep just means you're not like, you're relying on mental heuristics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not actually thinking.
Maybe.
You know? Maybe. All right. So, anyways, back to the movie. So what were you saying about the marketing? They pumped a lot of.
Don't remember. It's just it's a $90 million. I think it's also at the end of the year, and they want to
blow their entire year budget. They're like, we have 90 million.
We have a good movie coming. Will Smith. I think
But they went off actually. Like Apple Music. I was like searching for music and like. Oh, no, I was downloading an app, and then there was an ad for it.
Downloading an app? Yeah.
Like, I was, like, updating my apps.
Yeah.
On my iPhone, there was a...
But they generally do this, like, any movie that we do, right?
But, like, this one was...
before. Or
but this was a lot. Like, this was more than I had seen, like, even for...
Yeah, because this is Netflix, one of the biggest budget movie, I would say.
Right. So they were, like, trying to hit it out the park.
So they got to make it successful.
True. So I saw like the app for it, which is intense, and then I saw like these UFC shorts for it, you know, and then I saw like after I watched the movie, it's like go watch the music videos on Netflix. Well, I probably will just to check it out.
Yeah.
But like the custom music for the movie, that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they were like going off. They're really trying to. But maybe this is the future of movie making. You know what I mean? It's like it's more of a holistic approach versus like the archaic. Maybe they're setting a precedent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's interesting ways they market too, because what image shows up on your Netflix feed?
I don't know.
So if they see you're into a lot of cop stuff, they'll show the cop
No
side of
way,
it. Yeah,
really?
If you like fantasy, you'll see that lady with the wand or something.
Really?
Yeah. So it's
Wow.
really they really are in this new way of marketing, especially on Netflix, because they know what you're watching.
Wow,
they see
that's
your trends, right? So they can focus in on the right type of marketing for you that may work.
Really? Wow, that's so sick, man. I didn't know that. Like, so again, people like when I was in school, like studying this stuff, they were really adamant about how evil this was, right? Like the other classmates, because again, it's like, oh, invasion of privacy, blah blah blah. And then I guess it's like true. Yes, it's like, well, if you have not, people are like, oh, if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to worry about, and that's like the conservative viewpoint. But it's like, no, I just don't want them to invade my privacy.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be an opt-in, because I would totally opt in. I actually like that. Like, I like when ads show me stuff that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Tailored ads. It's like, why would I want to see like?
That's why it can be more more of a success than doing a regular Hollywood movie and making posters or something.
Exactly. And like, who doesn't have Netflix? I feel like I'm calling this one right now. Netflix is going to take over every entertainment resource. Like, it's going to be movie-wise, movie and TV.
It's interesting, where they started from too, right?
Which is like you you like order it.
Order a DVD or something.
Yeah, that was crazy. And people thought that was nuts. I remember when I first heard of it, I was like, what if I just don't give it back? Or something like that. It's like, wait, you can just pay like $5 for a movie? Like, it's crazy,
No, people were doing it. People were watching it and they'll send it back and then get another movie.
Yeah, for sure. But now it's like on demand. It's like your digital box,
Yeah. So now, they moved in. They've changed so much since where they started.
For sure. And it's funny because like we're in this digital age, and it's like the pioneers are really like putting a foothold in everything. So like Facebook, Instagram, Netflix, Amazon, they're all becoming these major players, in the whole field. And it's like Apple is another one. They're becoming these major players, and it's like our future is literally going to be written by these people. Although like there was like the Rogers Center, the Bell Center, because like they're the ones who, they got the foothold in the internet and landline business, right? Yeah. Then soon you're going to see like the Netflix Center, you know what I mean? Because like they're going to be making so much money off of all this. But yeah, I truly believe that Netflix is definitely going to set the precedent for a new way of making movies. It's like, so I heard this on Joe. This is really, really interesting. The only thing we actually collectively as a society, unless you can name one, that we show up for something that's not live anymore is movies. Yeah. Like, when will you go to something where it's like, it's not happening in that moment, and then you'll still go, like even concerts, it's like you're watching the DJ still play. It's like you don't go to like a concert and then they just play you a CD. You know what I mean? So like it's almost like movies are dying now. Like, but I actually like movie theaters.
No, I like movie theaters. There is someone trying something, but it's just starting now, where you can buy like a subscription for monthly and then go to as many movies.
Oh yeah, I saw that, but that's in America right now. Yeah, it's like $12 something. That was really cool. Actually, I wanted to sign up for. It's funny because I heard about that too, and then I went to go sign up for it, and I saw it was only in America. And I was like, oh man,
it's always America, man. They get it first.
True. I would totally, actually, unless it's technology, because Asia gets it first. So, but yeah, like new services and stuff, like new ease of doing things. Services. But yeah, so I would actually sign up for that one. That would be pretty cool. But how could you pay for like?
I don't know how it works. And how
like what's the percentage? Yeah, exactly.
But they don't have the big movie theaters yet though.
Exactly. Yeah. And what the realization is like you actually see divergence now in terms of movies, because like if you go to the movie theater, they've already done away with all the tellers and stuff. There's nobody working there. It's just all, there's one manager and then there's just a bunch of screens, and then you order your movie tickets from the screen. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's no more waiting in line for the cashier, which is kind of telling towards like what happens if Netflix starts putting out these amazing movies. Yeah. Then it's like, why would we go to the movie theater? You know what I mean? And then like you see these big cinema lines, like they start following suit, like Paramount and like Universal, Disney, they all start like opting more for Netflix movies, because even like Will Smith, right? He's let's get into this one. Who is the guy who's the orc?
I forgot his name, but yeah,
he's from
he's
like
in a lot of movies that
he played the Exodus, the brother. He was in Fighter. Oh, was it called Fighter?
Was it in that orc movie too? Was that him? I'm not sure.
He's like Super Ramsey something.
Yeah, keep going on. Let me look it up.
All right, cool. So yeah, he plays like all these crazy characters. Like he'll often play characters that you don't even know. Like he should win an award for his acting. You know what I mean? Like he's like super good. Oh, what's his name? Joel.
Yeah.
Joel Edgerton.
Yeah.
Yeah. That guy's sick. Sorry for saying your name wrong, but he's awesome. Like you're.
Yeah, he was in The Gift.
Yeah, but he didn't. So like, he plays like characters that you would not expect him to be. That's what really astounds me about him. His acting prowess is sick. But yeah, so they have two famous actors, Will Smith and this guy, and it's like, is this kind of a signal towards where they're going to go? Like, what's the next giant Netflix movie that's going to require a bunch of like famous actors?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, Will Smith's a big one.
Yeah, Will Smith is a big one. Except for his movie like a Suicide Squad. That was kind of a negative.
Yeah,
he has
there's rare runs that don't do well.
Or like End of Watch director, also the director of Suicide Squad. I'm like, should have just left Suicide Squad off there, you know? But yeah, so like, I don't know if he took this one because he was doing so poorly in his like I saw Concussion right after because we were on Netflix already, so that was an amazing movie. But like After Earth was not very good. Was it After Earth?
Yeah,
the one with the sun?
one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Sun, yeah. And then Suicide Squad was not very good, but so maybe he's like, you know, he's going back at it with like good scripts and stuff. Yeah, so yeah, prediction.
Any changes in your score?
My score. No, it's still 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5.
Yeah, I would give it a 6. You know what? 6 out of 5. It went higher.
Well, how does it go to 6 out of 5? I don't understand that.
It
beat Star Wars?
Oh yeah.
It beat Star Wars.
Yeah. It beat Star Wars. Star Wars got 5 out of 5, right? I gave 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
so it beat
but
Star
you
Wars.
went up too, I think.
No. All right, so
how
Star
can
Wars
you go up?
Star Wars was,
let's not go up. I think that's not the right thing to do.
no, Star Wars was 3.5, and then it went.
What?
Remember, I said like 3.5 in the beginning, and then
okay.
when the lessons started to kick in, it became 5 out of 5.
Okay.
The thing I don't like about Star Wars is I'd watch it again, but it's not rewatchable. Like it wasn't like. So this movie gave me a lesson as well as made me feel dumb. So it's like I could enjoy something while at the same time learn something. They made learning fun with this movie. But like Star Wars was like, I wasn't enjoying the story as much. So I was learning, that's why I got 5 out of 5. But because I didn't enjoy it, it was like 5 out of 5.
Yeah. I think we should just stick.
You know?
I don't think we should be going above 110% like that. I don't think we should be doing that.
No. But then it's like that means that it's like worthy of my top 10, my top 5.
No, I don't. Okay, but still, I think we should just stick with.
All right, fine then.
Nothing above that.
Everything.
Whatever the score.
Then you got to bell curve it. Everything that I said was over a 5. You just got to drop all the scores now. So like, so Star Wars is actually a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
End of Watch was 5 out of 5.
Sure.
What was that other?
End of Watch.
Oh, sorry, not End of Watch. Bright.
Bright.
But see, I liked it because it was so dumb, but so, like, so insightful.
Okay. All right. Whatever.
Right?
Again, this is opinions, so.
Like that's why I could watch it again, and then now I'm gonna watch it again.
I can't watch it again.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's done.
See, I'd watch it again without looking for the lesson. I'd watch it just to like enjoy like two buddies, you know.
Yeah.
I loved King Arthur though, so like. See, I guess it depends on the person. That's why you can never look at the scores because it's all about like
their opinions.
They're all subjective because it's like what do you like in movies? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm looking for lessons. Like if I can take away something that made me think, then it's like it's a sweet movie. You know. Whereas you're into like the wholeness of a movie.
Yeah, wholeness all at once.
What?
Like, yeah, like the whole thing. Good message or.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Good story.
But
all
see,
that sort of
here's another one. So our friend Brentley, he went to school for film, right? And then he only likes movies like if it's not like avant-garde with like some crazy subliminal messaging. He's like, "That's not good." I'm like, "What the hell, man? This movie's so sick." And he's like, "No, you gotta watch this movie." And he'll like say something, and I'll watch it. I'm like, "The hell was that, bro?" It was like black and white, and like and he's like. No, the message, bro. The message about, and you're like, what message? The way the light shone on the screen.
No, I know.
He's like, oh my god.
He's Oscar-worthy types of movies.
Yeah, exactly.
He's an Oscar reviewer.
And all those Oscar movies, all those movies that he suggests, like I can't watch them. Like I still haven't watched Benjamin Button. I can't bring myself to watch it. I'm like, Like, what am I gonna learn? I also don't like dramas because anything. It's like I got my own drama in my life, so I don't need to watch somebody else's drama. I just need to learn from a movie, inspire me. I'm looking for inspiration movies, but like, it's like Benjamin Button. It's like, but why would I watch that? But he's like, but the way he method acted, the way the costume design.
That's why they win Oscars.
And you're like, oh my, who cares about that, bro? Who cares? Is it a good movie?
Yes.
But it's like, was the story engaging? Did you learn something about it?
Yeah.
He regressed from being old to young. Or like 12 Years a Slave. I couldn't watch that movie either. I was like, I'll check it out, but it's like, I know that's just going to make me feel sad.
Yeah, that's what the movie's supposed to do.
See, that's another thing. So
feel the emotions.
You like movies that make you feel emotions.
Yeah.
I do not like movies that make me feel emotions. You know what I mean? Like, that's why you watch foreign stuff. Because you're like, I wanna watch something that's going to make me like go through a roller coaster of feeling. Right? And I'm like, I just want to be stoked.
Well, yeah, but that's good. That's part of the feeling too. The whole thing.
The stokedness?
Yeah.
No, but all right, so I can watch.
Not just that.
So did you watch Warrior?
Yeah.
And what'd you think?
I liked it.
Did you like it, or were you like? I was like inspired. I was like, yo, I'm gonna go train right now, dog.
No, I don't.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, for me, I would have given that movie a 5 out of 5.
Right.
You probably would have given it like 2. You're like, that's all right, but it's
No. It was good.
Oh,
it was really good.
Like what? 3?
I think it was a 4 out of 5 for me.
4 out of 5. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you like Mulan?
Yeah.
What'd you give that?
Those are like really good movies. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a good high score. I think.
5 out of 5.
Here
you go. Did you like King Arthur?
Did I enjoy? I enjoyed King Arthur.
Okay, what was your score for King Arthur?
Probably a 3.5 out of 5.
3.5. 3.5. I would have given that like a 15 out of 5. Bro. That movie's like encompassing everything you want to see in a movie. First of all, I love Guy Ritchie.
What you want to see in a movie?
What I want to. That's what I'm saying.
That's really, yeah.
I love Guy Ritchie. His style of like editing is amazing. I remember we walked out of the movie and you're like, oh, it's not very a period piece, and I'm like, yeah, but it's Guy Ritchie though. Like Guy Ritchie makes the best movies because he's like lock, stock. He's got that gangster feel, Plus, it's like comedic, badass. And you're inspired because the story of King Arthur is all about like overcoming your struggle, your burdens and stuff. It's a very basic movie, but it's like it's getting you with the lesson. It's like you're enjoying learning.
Yeah.
You know when you go to like a math class and then not math class, that's a terrible example. But you know when you're like in school and then you're learning something and it can be really dry.
Yeah.
You could have a really good teacher or you can have a really bad teacher. Mm-hmm. Right. So like. I feel like I want a good teacher when I'm watching a movie, Like, I feel like Benjamin Button is like an intelligent teacher, but he's not a good teacher. He's not an entertaining teacher.
Oh, okay. Again, these are all opinions, right?
For sure.
There's nothing wrong with an opinion.
No, I agree. I'm just saying, like, we're just saying that scores are like, you can't trust scores. It's like if you like the kind but what I'm saying is like if you listen to this, if you like the kind of movies that Vish likes, go listen to him. But if you agree with me and you're looking for something like XYZ, like I'm looking, then you'll listen to me and you'll agree with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're looking for some like weirdness, you'll listen to Brownlee's score because it's like I don't know what you're talking about right now, like some noir stuff.
Yeah.
So what's your final score?
I think it's the same.
3.5?
Yeah.
So, am I not allowed to go over 5 anymore?
No, I don't think we should.
All right, fine. 3.5 out of 5, so it becomes a 4 out of 5? What is that?
For who?
What's the final score or combined score?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm not good at math.
Where's
70 I got you. Where's 70 plus 100 divided by 2? It's like 70 plus 15, 85%.
Okay, sure. I don't know.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah. Need an engineer here. Need Jared with his mathematics. Yeah, so okay. So go check out Bright. It's free. If you have Netflix, it's free.
Nothing's really free. But sure.
Nothing's really free. Yeah, it's accessible if you have Netflix. You don't have to pay extra like going to the movies.
Yeah.
But yeah. So till next time. What's our next movie? What's another one that's coming out?
I don't know, man. I didn't look up the list.
I don't like. Nothing's like looking very good. That
we'll see as it comes. We'll watch and we'll review. I don't know.
Yeah. All right, cool. Maybe we'll do a couple Netflix ones.
But we can, check us out on Twitter and
Oh, yeah,
That's
true,
when
true.
we'll say when we've got something coming up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Check it. Yeah.
Right, we'll have it on there.
Yeah.
Our scores before.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you want to do like Netflix movies?
We just did a Netflix movie.
No. Yeah. But I mean like other Netflix movies that we haven't seen, like older ones, or are you like?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Yeah. True. All right. Cool. So until next time. Don't be an orc.
See ya.